Okay. Let's go.
Thank you very much. We want to use this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you. Let's begin this session as we take the national anthem. That will be followed by the University of Port Harcourt anthem. Please, as we sing, let's remain at a place. No movement. Thank you. Let us sing along. The university anthem is on the screen.
University of Port Harcourt, our citation.
very much. One of the best songs in the world over. Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you very much. Once again, welcome to this 187 inaugural lecture to be given by Professor Chineze M. Uche, Department of Educational Management, Faculty of Education, today, Thursday, 25th April 2024. May I respectfully, at this point in time, hand over the microphone to the Registrar of the University, represented by the Director of Academic Affairs, Mr. Good News Ija. Thank you.
I hereby invite the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Wunari Abraham Georgewell, ably represented by the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic, Professor Kingsley I. Owete, for his opening remarks. Vice-Chancellor, sir.
On behalf of the Knight Vice-Chancellor, Professor Wunari Abraham Georgewell, I'm pleased to welcome members of the Governing Council, Deputy Vice-Chancellors, precisely my very good friend here, DVC R1D, Professor Iyopo Siminelaye, principal officers of the university, the 7th Vice-Chancellor seated comfortably there, former Vice-Chancellors, I can see Professor Ndimile also comfortably seated. Former Deputy Vice-Chancellor, my mentor Nduka, I saw him earlier on. Other DVCs, principal officers, Dean, School of Graduate Studies. I hope I have not forgotten the provost. Deans of faculties, heads of departments, distinguished professors and scholars, staff and students of the University of Port Harcourt, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm standing right here in the shoes of our Knight Vice-Chancellor, which is too big to fill in, to welcome this August gathering in the month of April. For us to sit tight and listen to what I will call or will be one of the most celebrated inaugural lectures for this year by Professor Chineze Uche. Of course, those of us around will clearly say that she is one of the quintessential erudite, distinguished brains to have come out of the Faculty of Education in our time. Today, she's going to speak to us on the 21st century university administrator in managing higher education as an enterprise. She's going to bring to bear new thought-provoking ideas, which I'm sure will not only contribute to the debate that is on now, but benefit us as an institution. Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's welcome Professor Chineze Uche.
May I, at this point, invite the Dean, Faculty of Education, Professor Cheta Williams, to deliver the citation. The Dean, please.
Citation on Professor Chineze M. Uche. Professor Chineze Monica Uche was born on 29th March 1958 to the family of late Chief B.O. Atuchukwu and Madam B.M. Atuchukwu ni Ezike Anozie from Amici Town, Nnewi South, local government area of Anambra State. Professor Uche is a professor of educational management with specialization in administration of higher education. She teaches in the Department of Educational Management, Faculty of Education, University of Port Harcourt, Nigeria. She is an alumna of St. Andrew's Primary School, Amici, Queen's School, Enugu, Holy Family College, Okwabak, University of Ibadan, University of Port Harcourt, and Galilee International Institute of Higher Educational Management, Israel. Apart from teaching, supervision and mentorship of students and younger colleagues, she has engaged in other administrative responsibilities in the university, such as serving in several university boards and committees, a former HOD of her department, former director of Center for Higher Education Studies, CHES, former chairman of Faculty of Education, Welfare Committee, former hall warden, immediate past director of School of Sandwich Programs, and a member of Certificate Verification Committee of the university. She has served as the editor of 3 academic journals: African Journal of Higher Education Studies, African Journal of Educational Research and Development, and Journal of the Educated Teacher Studies, domiciled in Center for Higher Education Studies, Department of Educational Management, and School of Sandwich Programs, respectively. She has also served as external examiner for the assessment of PhD candidates and assessor for promotion to the ranks of readers and professors in the University of Lagos, Ignatius Ajuru University of Education, Niger Delta University, Cross River State University of Science and Technology, and Odumegwu Ojukwu University. She has engaged in several research activities and disseminated the findings in more than 120 outlets, including books, chapters in books, monographs, national and international journals. She has also attended and presented papers in many conferences within Nigeria and other countries. Through these activities, she has made significant contributions to knowledge, especially in the areas of funding and development of higher education in Nigeria through collaborations based on triple helix models: leadership, administration, and entrepreneurship education. She has also rendered several community services both in her village, Amici, and other locations in the country, including being the course director for the training of community resource persons on key household practices in internally displaced persons camps and hosting communities in the northeast zone of Nigeria. Since 2005, Professor Uche has been a very strong member of Nigeria Association of Educational Administration and Planning and Commonwealth Council for Educational Administration and Management. From 2006 till date, Professor Uche has been the faculty advisor of CIFE, Enactors, a Uniport team. Enactors is a US-based international student organization with focus on teaching and equipping students with entrepreneurship and leadership skills, with presence in more than 40 countries and about 35 universities in Nigeria. Professor Uche is a certified teacher and registered by the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, TRUCN. She is also a member of the Nigeria Academy of Education. She derives special joy in reading, research, and traveling. She's a Christian, a lady auxiliary, and a Dane, member of the Order of the Knighthood of St. Mary, the Mother of Jesus. She's happily married with children and grandchildren. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I present to you an erudite scholar, a prolific writer, a creative and innovative researcher, a leadership and administration specialist, professional expert, a passionate teacher and mentor, an academic entrepreneur, a strong, hard-working, and humble woman, a woman of integrity, and a woman after God's heart, Professor Chineze M. Uche, to deliver the 187th inaugural lecture titled 21st Century University Administrator in Managing Higher Education as an Enterprise.
Good evening, everybody. I am Professor Chineze Uche, and the title of my inaugural lecture today is 21st Century University Administrator in Managing Higher Education as an Enterprise. That's the presentation outline. students, the staff, and the society. It should be able to perform its role in the achievement of sustainable development in our country, Nigeria. This is a justification based on my experience in teaching, research, community service, and entrepreneurial activities that higher education is an enterprise and should be managed as such if it has to raise funds required to play its role effectively. Administration is the process of planning, organizing, coordinating, directing activities, programs, human and material resources for the achievement of the predetermined organizational goal. And higher education administrator is the chief executive of the institution, whether the VC of the university, provost of higher college of education, or rector of polytechnic. Specifically, the 21st university administrator is the CEO of the university that uses technology to take care of or to run the affairs of the institution seamlessly in a better, faster, and smarter way. He uses Zoom platforms, he uses technology in accounting, and by touching the computer or his phone from his office or anywhere, he can get to all the sectors, all the areas of the institution, and he can coordinate all the programs, whether in research, whether in students and staff management, whether in exchange and linkage, whether in community relations, any aspect of the institution, through technology, he will be able to do that. And as he is doing this, he makes sure that he's using effective and efficient management processes. And of course, he is based on good governance, based on formal or bureaucratic procedures, on interpersonal relations or collegial principles, or at times he needs to play a little bit of politics based on political model, because he has to contend with different interest groups such as ASU, NASU, SANU, NAT, and even student unions. Now, what do we mean by managing higher education as an enterprise? First of all, I'm going to define enterprise, but not professionally because I'm not an accountant, but I will give a definition that suits the context of this lecture. So enterprise is using money to make money. Managing the enterprise is doing business, seriousness, prudence, accountability, and entrepreneurial mindset. It is turning wealth to enterprise or production, because wealth without enterprise is a waste of money. The money kept in the bank or the money kept in the house, according to one-time presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi. And also, Bible in Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19, says that feast is for laughter, wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. And I will say that without money, you cannot make feast. You cannot do party, and you cannot buy good wine. So, quality and good higher education requires money. So this is, we are going to be talking about money today, because we need money to run the university. So we need to talk about money and how to generate this money within, without begging or borrowing. That is my stand today. We need to convert our research activities to production, according to P2B. We need to convert it to money because we have what it takes. And so the university administrator will try to run a university that will get to the level of being research-based, quality and technology-driven, of being an institution with people or population that is healthy, population that is productive, that population that is educative, population that is profitable, and population that can be globally competitive. Now, the question that this lecture tries to answer is, how can the university administrator raise or generate fund within the university system or within the higher education system without going outside to borrow, as I said before, or to beg people? That is the question I want to try to answer in a very brief moment. First of all, my point is that we use what we do, our areas of preoccupation and our functions, to generate the fund that we need. And what do? I looked at about 8 areas. I looked at our research functions, I looked at entrepreneurial functions, I looked at the role of fundraising for the administrator, I looked at internalization of higher education, I looked at leadership, effective, functional, institutional leadership, and I looked at higher education in technological age, that is 21st century. And of course, I looked at different partners and collaborations that exist in the university system. So let us, first of all, look at the research. It is our function. Lecturers are required to carry out research and produce the findings for them to be promoted, for their promotion and for their mobility. They are also supposed to commercialize these findings to generate funds. However, our research has shown that, yes, they engage in research activities. They also produce journals. They publish these findings in the books and journals, but they are not engaging in commercialization, the third aspect, that is patenting or marketing the research findings. They are not involved in it. And that is why we always have the saying, publish or perish. But after this lecture today, you see that our lecturers are not supposed to publish or perish. They are publishing, but they are still perishing in poverty. Yes, they are publishing, but they are perishing in poverty because, according to P2B, they have not converted the research findings to money. They have not converted it to production. They have not converted it to commercialization level. And so we are packing them in the library, in our homes, and in our offices, wasting them. But after today, the university system will have a rethink. That is based on academic research, because we have academic research, or what we call basic research. We also have applied research based on contract research. Our study shows the contract research is the research that leads the university to the industry. Our finding shows that, yes, academic or lecturers in the universities, they know about contract research. They are aware, but they are not involved in it because that's where the money is. Contract research, the industry, in academic research, the lecturer is free to research in any area of his or her interest based on academic freedom principle. But in contract research, it is the industry that will give contract to the university administrator, but it is the lecturer that will do the job, that will carry out the research, or in most cases, it's the lecturers that will be the consultants. So you see the tri-dimensional relationship of this contract research, the university to the industry, or what we call the clients. The clients can be the industry or individual company or government even. And then they will sign the contract with them. And then you see the other way, the lecturers will do the job and as they communicate with the clients. This type of research is based on mutual understanding and mutual benefit. You give me, give and take. So nobody is begging anybody. Nobody is borrowing from anybody. Well, you do your work, I do my own, you pay me for the work. Mutual understanding and mutual benefit. Everybody benefits. Then another aspect is entrepreneurial education. Entrepreneurship education has been included in our curriculum because of the global trends and the problems and societal changes. So we teach entrepreneurship education to teach the students and equip them with entrepreneurial skills that will help them to get a job when they finish school or be self-reliant. Another aspect of it is that universities have been allowed to establish centers where they can float specialized programs that students can come and do and pay for it. Another aspect is capacity building among the lecturers who teach this entrepreneurship education. Our research has shown that, yes, students are being taught entrepreneurial skills. We have so many centers and units that raise such courses where students come and do the courses and pay. However, Adosheba and Uche found out that building capacity among lecturers, it is still very low, if it is existing at all. Something has to be done on that because these are the lecturers that teach these students. University of Port Harcourt has been an entrepreneurial university for so many years, up to 15 years, because they always partner with development partners so that they will come in from industry to teach the students, or something like Enactus. Enactus is entrepreneur for us all in action, because Enactus is an international student organization that comes into the campus, organize leadership and entrepreneurial training for students, and equip them with skills that they need to set up their own businesses when they leave school or to get a better job. With this outfit, University of Port Harcourt has been producing students. Many of them today who have passed through this organization are business owners. Personally, I have been the faculty advisor with some other people, and I have learned a lot from that, especially in the area of entrepreneurship. And the University of Port Harcourt has won a lot of trophies and awards through this. You can see that picture where the 7th Vice Chancellor, Professor Ajenka, was receiving the award from the students in one of their outings. Then higher education administrator also plays the role of fundraising. Apart from using research functions and entrepreneurship education, the higher education administrator is also supposed to engage in some innovative and strategic models or approaches to raise funds to run the university. And we have also found out that most universities are doing that, but in most cases, because of the way of doing business in Nigeria, in most cases, it doesn't work as such. Internationalization and globalization of higher education as part of managing the institution as enterprise. Internationalization simply means commercialization of education. We are saying that you need to develop your education to a certain level where you can export it. So it is not only oil and gas that we export. We can as well export our education, because other advanced countries, even Ghana, exports their education. We go there and we pay a lot of money to send our children there. So internationalization is the way to go. And the major component of internationalization of higher education is quality. We carried out a study on green parks to look at the campus environment, to know or to determine the level of preparedness of internationalization of higher education in these schools. And look at the pictures there. The first set of pictures, you see how beautiful the environment is. There is nobody that will not be attracted to this environment, even before you go into the campus. But look at the second set. See how tattered. It's not attractive. And you know that quality attracts. Quality is something you can see and you can feel it. So you have to see it and want to go there, be attracted before you can go. So we found out that generally Nigerian universities have a very low level of preparedness for internationalization. Something has to be done there, because if you internationalize, you attract students from outside and you attract foreign currency. And you know what it means to have foreign currency today in Nigeria. And we're also saying that a higher education enterprise should possess the characteristics of a 21st century. 21st century education is quality-based and technology-driven. It is student-centered. So you need to run an institution that will be able to produce students that have the entrepreneurial skills, that have the competence and the character to be able to work in the industry because they have the skills that the industry wants, to be able to find their way when they go out of Nigeria. So we need such education for the 21st century, and such education or such institution or such administrator should be ICT compliant. ICT compliance means that you have integrated information and communication technology in all your programs and courses and facilities. So anybody in that system or in that institution will be able to do whatever you want to do using technology. So higher 21st century higher education that is being managed as an enterprise should be ICT compliant. Then institutional leadership is very, very important. Afangide, Uche, and Inaugural posited in a paper we presented in Tanzania that leadership drives both the policy formulation and policy implementation. Leadership is very, very important because leadership gives direction to quality, integrity, and accountability. Without leadership, people will be disillusioned in the institution because leadership generally is defined as the process of influencing people so that they will willingly and enthusiastically work towards the achievement of the predetermined goal. If you don't influence them, if you don't motivate them, if you don't encourage them, they will not buy into your vision. Even if you are saying that you want to, it's an enterprise, it's a business, you want to run it this way, you are not going to work alone. In fact, Jethro principle, what Jethro told his father-in-law, Moses, this thing you cannot do it alone, no matter how strong you think you are. You have to form teams. You have to form groups and have leaders, just like we have in the university system. The leaders that will help you to do this. Then you now sell your vision to these leaders so that they will run in the same way with you. So leadership, thank you. Leadership is very, very important. As a HOD, I used enterprising leadership. And I was the HOD during the COVID. But when the world was locked down, our brains were not locked down. So I initiated a book project. And I said, we can use our expertise to carry out a study and produce a book that will help Nigeria in managing education during and after COVID. So within 5 months, we produced a book. I co-edited that book with 2 other senior staff in our department. And today, that book has been approved by TED Fund, and they have paid for the production of 1,000 copies. That is enterprise. And our Lord Jesus Christ also used teamwork and collaboration and cooperation in his leadership when he sent 72 apostles 2 by 2, as recorded in Luke 10:22-42. So you cannot do it alone. You have to form your teams and sell the vision to them. Finally, partnerships in higher education and national development. We have identified about 4 types of partnerships that exist in higher education. Number 1 is university-industry collaboration. And number 2 is triple helix, as propounded by Escowitz, the father of triple helix. And number 3 is triple helix plus, as initiated by the 7th Vice Chancellor of our university, Professor Joseph Ajayinka. Joseph Ajayinka observed that the professional bodies are involved in triple helix, because triple helix is university, industry, government. So he initiated it, and we have gone to Amsterdam. I went to Amsterdam to present a paper on it. And after my presentation, another person presented a paper from Spain running the same type of program. And so Uniport received a lot of accolades after that presentation that we have globalized. You see the professional bodies that are involved at regulatory level or advisory level or playing role model to students within and after school. You can see TRCN, Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, through education, and they also reach out through that to the community. You can see NBA for law people, you can see NMA for health, COREN for engineering, ICANN for accounting, and so on and so forth. Then the last one is university community engagement. This is based on the coordinating partner. There is a particular coordinating partner that coordinates all the partnership development people in the institution in a particular place. And we have the Regional Center of Experts, which called the RCE, and Uniport is also part of this initiative. It's a union initiative. And we have also gone to Zambia to produce a paper, to present a paper on what Enactus is doing in Uniport and their host communities. And that paper was also very powerful. Now, in doing all these things, there is money. We need money. Without money, you cannot have good things. Apart from that, these things pose a lot of challenges and pressure on the university administrator. You can see some of those challenges, and if these challenges are properly managed, there will be opportunities to excel. But if they are not properly managed, they will cause a serious and a lot of problems, as identified by Uche in 1999. Look at it, the first problem or the first challenge that a university administrator will face is how to conceptualize strategic plan, because you need a plan of 5 years you are going to stay. What are you going to do within these 5 years? And I said, you are not going to do it alone. You raise committee that will help you to channel the course that you are going to run for the 5 years you are going to stay. He's faced with the challenge of how to attract students from outside so that he can make hard currency, attract quality lecturers from outside, how to cope with the poor funding system and high cost of maintenance and management and operations of facilities, and so many other challenges he will face. If he's not able to cope with those challenges, we'll turn to problems. And the major problem we will always have is corruption and mismanagement. For example, lecturers engage in contract research, they engage in research, and they may start commercializing. Maybe after today, they may start commercializing their findings. Everything will come to the university. But in most cases, if such money comes, is it being managed well? 1, 2, the lecturers or the staff that are involved in generating this money, will they benefit from it? These are areas of mismanagement, because in most cases, you generate money, the money comes in, but you don't know how it is managed. But that is a way to go. The university administrator should be able to work with his team or her team, generate the fund, and also help in appropriate management of that fund, including helping the lecturers who are involved in the fund. Now, my contributions to knowledge, you will agree with me in these few minutes I have spoken that university should be run as an enterprise. And the money to do that is within. We can generate the money within. I have made a lot of contributions to knowledge in the area of teaching, in the area of research, in the area of leadership and administration, in the area of community service, and so on and so forth. My dean has enumerated a lot of them, but I will just summarize. All my contributions in research and publications are all over the world. They cut across the globe. They cut across countries. I have published in so many journals. If you click, because University of Port Harcourt, I think, is ICT compliant. If you click Uche Chineze or Chineze Uche from wherever you are, you will see some of my publications. You will also see some of my activities, because here you can get to internet. So I have traveled quite wide, because I have gone for conferences, workshops to present these papers to so many countries. And these, my works, have contributed immensely to the improved position of Uniport in the world ranking of the universities through these, my research activities. So I have made a lot of contributions. In teaching also, I have taught so many students, and many of them today are lecturers. So I have produced people for the labor market. So many of them have, so many of them have gone through a first degree, master's, PhD, and today they are teaching in the university. Some of them are getting to the level of professorship. So I am proud I have contributed in that area. So many other ways. In leadership in particular, I have held so many leadership positions in University of Port Harcourt. And I have applied enterprising, functional leadership principles in running those areas. And the difference is always clear. I was the first and foundation member of CHES, Center for Higher Education Studies. And there I developed the center from the scratch, from the beginning. And I developed that center to international status. I organized 2 international conferences. I floated a journal that got up to 6th edition within my tenure. And I organized the first and the second induction of PGD students into Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria in the 35 years of the institute. The institute has stayed for 35 years. Nobody thought of organizing this so that students will be linked to the professional body. I did it. And I did it 2 times before my tenure finished. I have talked of my head as the HOD when I was the HOD and what I did there. And when I became the director of the Institute of post-SCE, there were so many problems. But within a twinkle of an eye, I was able to revitalize the place. And I did so well in that unit that the students honored me with a Yoruba title, Erelu, meaning the strongest woman. Yes. As the welfare committee chairman of my faculty of education, I did so well. I initiated a lot of staff-friendly systems and programs, and everybody was happy, including the spiritual aspect. You can see me there raising my Bible, praying with other faculty members, because I am a Christian. I instituted that with my colleagues. As the hall warden, I helped the students, both financially and otherwise. I counseled them. I was a role model to them. At each given time, even in the night, they will call me, I will talk with them. And students know me for that. I'm also contributing to my alma mater as the branch president of our association, Queen School Enugu Old Girls Association, following the footsteps of our able leader and distinguished old girl, Professor Ndi Onyuke Okereke, OON. Yes, she has helped us a lot. And because I have been following their footsteps, and including our leader too, our past president, Dr. Mrs. Georgiana Ngeri-Nwaga. She's seated here. Ma, thank you for coming. Yes, these are all girls of Queen School. We are following their footsteps, and we are not missing steps at all. When I did my sabbatical in Shell was happy because I was the first person to initiate and carried out the reviews and assessment of the educational programs in the area of operation. I carried out such reviews, such assessments, and I produced and presented reports to the management team before I finished my sabbatical. There are so many areas I have worked outside, including being course director for the training of community resource persons on key household practices in the internally displaced people's camps and their hosting community. I have been doing that, moving through all the cities and towns in the Northeast since 2016. That is a big contribution. You can see I have contributed to my town in the school area, in the church area, in the community, where I come from, I have contributed so much. You can see the summary of my contributions there. Now, having done all this, and I have a few years to go, what is my future research focus? As I said from the beginning, technology is driving the world. Technology is facilitating activities. Technology is facilitating leadership, administration, and programs. So I want to continue in that area. I want to explore more the following areas: SDG 17, in management of higher education, impact of digital technology on higher education as an enterprise, assessing impact of artificial intelligence on research and development, and studies on strategies for maneuvering challenges of unplanned changes and rapid innovations in digital technology. Recommendation. My recommendation is based on investment. You have seen a lot of things that the university administrator has to do to run the system as an enterprise. And you will agree with me that they are not cheap. They are not easy. And in most cases, they are new and they change every now and then. So the administrator needs to have a self-development. You have to train yourself. At times, some of our adult members will say, no, I don't know how to use computer. No, I will call my boy, I will call my girl to come and do it. Time has gone when your boy or your girl will come and do it for you because they will steal your information and destroy your university. You have to learn how to do it by yourself. So higher education administrators should imbibe initiative and business acumen. You first of all know that you want to run that institution as a business, not any and anyhow. It's not an institution you lie down on your bed and do. It's an institution you want to be serious with so that you produce results. And you know that we use money to look for money. So university administrators should invest on grant-winning proposal writing by encouraging staff through training and giving them incentive. I will continue to hammer on this incentive. Very important. Motivation, encouragement, whatever you want to call it. But anybody, any staff that is involved in research activities and using those research activities to generate funds should be well remunerated. That is my point. And of course, everybody should be ICT compliant. You should also teach it. In fact, this award, the proposal, winning, what did I call it? Grants winning proposal. We should have a center that organizes it. And it shouldn't be just yearly affair. It should be biannually. Because these things change so fast. The method you have known today, by next week or next month, it has changed. So you have to keep on upgrading. There is need to institute such a center or such a unit that will be able to teach the lecturers, not just the new lecturers. Everybody should learn how to write these proposals. Money is the key to open the doors. So strategic, innovative, and alternative funding models should be adopted by the institutional administrators. Lecturers and industry-based workers should be involved in curriculum development, and students should be taught to be multi-skilled to improve their employment prospects or be self-reliant when they leave school. There should be investment in internationalization. I have talked about preparedness for internationalization. You should use money to make your university attractive, not just attractive within, but attractive globally. This is, please, I want to say thank you to some of the people that have helped me in this my academic journey before I conclude. First of all, I want to thank all the former vice chancellors, all the former principal officers, deputy vice chancellors, and people who have been in management team of our university, all the deans, all the directors, the provosts, former and current. I want to really thank them. And I want to especially thank our VC, our 9th VC, Professor Wunari Abraham Georgewell. If he did not, it's our digital VC for that matter. If he did not approve this inaugural lecture, it wouldn't happen. So, sir, I am very grateful. I want to thank my ED, my Faculty of Education family. My dean is here, Professor Williams, Cheta Williams. I want to really thank him. He has really helped me in putting these things together. I want to thank my EDM family, thank my HOD, even though she's not here today because of ill health, but we are praying for her quick recovery. I am appreciative for all the supports and pieces of advice I have received from Professor Karanta. He has been a friend, he has been a brother. I will continue to be grateful today. I want to thank Professor Ngozi Okorie. He's my academic mentor, he's my academic mother. I thank him so much. And I thank my master's and PhD supervisor, Professor Nnabo, POM Nnabo. Sir, thank you very much. I don't know whether he's here today. He promised me that he will come. Okay. I want to thank especially Professor Agabi and Dr. Mrs. Biwari Dike and her late husband, Professor Ifed Dike, who provided great assistance when I needed it most. I want to thank Dr. Tio Sanabo, who played a major role in my academic career. I want to thank our 7th Vice Chancellor, Professor Joseph Ajayinka, our former DVC R&D, Professor William Bear, Professor Akaranta, Professor Uche, RBI Uche, Professor J.D. Oko, Professor Titi Orunaboka, and late Professor O. Orubite, who saw the enterprising spirit in me and supported me to grow. I am very grateful to them. I also want to thank my colleagues and students at EDM faculty and the Faculty of Education and entire university community, and all my professional colleagues from other institutions, Enactus teams, students, and my fellow faculty advisors all over the world. Thank you very much for teaching me entrepreneurship. I appreciate the love of my friends and associates from far and near who have gone through thick and thin with me. I thank Professor Chineze Ojukwu, Professor J.G. Onyenge. Professor J.G. Onyenge came all the way from the University of Lagos. Professor Dike also came all the way from the University of Nigeria and Soka. I want to thank Professor Florence Semenalo. I want to thank Professor Maureen Koko, Professor Adama Ohia. Professor Adama Ohia is the faculty coordinator of all that we are seeing here today, through the power given to her by the dean. She and her team have done excellently well. Prof, thank you very much. Extend my thanks to your team. I want to thank Professor Sunday Afangide. I want to thank Mrs. Ogo Wabunika. I want to thank Professor Betty Rulo, Professor Antonia Wanekezi, Mrs. Ogo Wabunike, Dr. Stella Honanya, Dr. Mojas Tuboho, and all other friends who have helped me at one time or the other. I thank Chukwuma, Engineer Chukwuma is here all the way from USA. I want to thank Chikwel. I want to thank Yoma Bangunia Ogwebie. I want to thank Samuel Umakeze, Uche, Dr. Lasisi, Obina Job, and Chinedu Okam, who taught me how to use computer and ICT and inspired me to use it for my research work. I want to especially thank my father, my loving father, late Chief B.O. Atuchukwu, Ezafoju one of Amij, a man of peace. May his soul continue to rest in peace. I want to especially also thank my mother-in-law, late Mrs. Comfort O. Uche, and my dear mother, Madam Bridget Atuchukwu. Mama, thank you very much. Dalu Chukwu gozie gị. My mother is here. I want to thank all my siblings and their families, ably led by my senior brother, Sajo Atuchukwu. They have been wonderful people, right from my childhood. They have been wonderful to me. And I also want to thank all my in-laws, the Okafors, and the Ibis. They are very, very wonderful people. I sincerely and humbly want to thank my darling husband. Yes. My husband is here. Yes. Yes. My husband is here, and he will always be there. He will always, this community knows him very well. He will always be there. He never left me alone. He is very, very special to me, and I have dedicated this work to him as God's divine gift. It's God's divine gift to me, to our family, to the church, to our community, and to the general society. He's a wonderful man. Sir, thank you so much. I want to thank our children. Our children are awesome. Eninya, Obiajuru, Ezine, Ifani, Onyekachukwu. They are wonderful children. I want to thank my son-in-law. My son-in-law is also here, Kede Chukwu Okafo, the husband to the only daughter I have. So you can imagine how I take him. I want to thank my daughter-in-law, the wife to my son, and Onyeka. These are wonderful people. I also want to thank our drivers, my driver and my husband's driver, for 30 years and still counting. It's not easy. Felix Wankwo and Felix Akko. I also want to thank all the children that God has brought across me to stay with me in my house. I want to thank Joseph Ode, Samuel Anyepong, Rukufre Sambo, and Wisdom Ofonime. Thank you so much for always being there for me. I want to thank my sister-in-law, late Mrs. Nonyem Emenike. May God continue to grant her soul eternal rest. I sincerely want to thank WellTech family, especially Pedro and Chineze. Chineze is a professor here, professor in medicine here. And Uzo and Chiwonsolo, they are here. Felix and Stella, yes, they are all here. I want to thank all of you and all the WellTech members for what you are doing. I want to thank the church, Amich Diocese, Niger Delta North Diocese, and the Emmanuel Anglican Church. People are here. My vicar is here. Reverend Canon Romanus Onyebulam is here with the members of my church here in Port Harcourt. I want to thank the Haji Egbama Diocese. They have been empowering me in prayers and the word of God through the power of the Holy Spirit. I want to thank my community, Amich, and my alma mater, Queen School Enugu, for raising a girl child like me. So God be all the glory and his faithfulness and great things he has done in Jesus' name. So let me now quickly conclude. As I started with some statement of facts, I also conclude with some statement of facts. First of all, Education of all types and levels is an enterprise and should be managed as such. Higher education requires huge amounts of money for management and maintenance of its programs and operations. Higher education institutes need to transform their research products to enterprise through patenting and commercialization. So the mantra should now change from publish or perish to publish, patent, and prosper. I'm saying that the lecturers shouldn't be poor. They should be prosperous. They should be rich because we have the knowledge, and knowledge is power, knowledge is wealth, but we need to convert it according to Peter. Higher education institutions need to develop to entrepreneurial and internationalization status to attract investors, attract foreign students, and attract foreign currency. Thus, a 21st higher education, higher university, a 21st university administrator in managing higher education as an enterprise is an administrator par excellence. He is an enterprising manager. He or she is a bureaucrat, is a friend, is a colleague, is also a politician. And he is a visionary and transformational leader. Thank you very much for listening.
Put our hands together for our 187th inaugural lecturer, who has gone to officially hand over the lecture to the Vice Chancellor of the university. Please, cameraman, capture this beautiful moment. Hold on, capture this beautiful moment. Thank you very much. Capture it, capture it, capture it. Thank you. This is so beautiful. Very intelligent woman. Prof, put your hands together for her again. Thank you. Registrar.
I hereby invite the Vice Chancellor, Professor Wunari Abraham Georgewell, represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Professor Kingsley I. Owete, to make his closing remarks. Vice Chancellor, sir.
Members of the Governing Council, Deputy Vice Chancellor R&D, Yopo Siminelaye, the Registrar of this great university, represented by the Director of Academic Affairs, the 7th Vice Chancellor, probably we should nickname him the Triple Helix. Plus, okay, I've been corrected, thank you. Triple Helix Plus. The immediate former Vice Chancellor, the University of Education, Ajuru, Professor Ndimele, also my former Dean, Faculty of Humanities, Provost, College of Health Sciences, Dean, School of Graduate Studies, Deans of Faculties, Heads of this department, distinguished professors and scholars, the inaugural lecturer, family of the inaugural lecturers, staff and students of the University of Port Harcourt, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. What more can I say to add to what our distinguished scholar had just displayed? I am not going to bore you people with a closing remark that will beg the question. She had said it all. The title of today's inaugural lecture is apt as it contributes to the burning discourse of managing higher education in Nigeria vis-a-vis the preparedness of public university administrators to innovatively manage universities as an enterprise, owing to the growing global trend and challenges, notably the dwindling government subventions, an issue which the inaugural lecturer has identified as an existential challenge, as she believed that money solves all problems. But I dare say that it is only enough money that can solve all things. So, in addressing this challenge as espoused in the 106-page inaugural lecture booklet, Professor Chineze Uche brings her expansive knowledge to bear by positing that the global trends and changing nature of societal needs have forced a fourth purpose for higher education, which transcends beyond the core of teaching, research, and community service to being innovatively entrepreneurial through the internationalization, commercialization of knowledge in terms, research, patent, contracts, amongst others. As a way to underscore the imperative for the internationalization of knowledge as a key driver for an enterprise-driven university, the inaugural lecturer in page 36 to 37 of the inaugural lecture identified the need for some kind of open door to attract international students and scholars, citing the UK as a major earner from such policies. However, the inaugural lecturer holds strongly that higher education must be seen as a service organization and a social system, not to be profit-oriented. Another issue for debate. Probably we invite you to give another inaugural lecture. Nonetheless, the far-reaching recommendations of further enriching the triple helix and the triple helix plus approach currently practiced in the university, pushing the frontiers of technological advancement, the internationalization and commercialization of knowledge, effective and purposeful leadership, and the robust quality workforce is hereby noted by the university management for further action. Unarguably, our distinguished inaugural has again brought to fore a teaching challenge confronting most Nigerian universities. And as a university, while we take pride in being an entrepreneurial university, it will be safe to say that Nigerian university administrators, managers must try to reinvent the wind in order to be developmentally relevant and internationally competitive. And to achieve this, all hands must be on deck, including our friends from the industry and professional bodies. On a closing note, let me borrow the word of our own erudite scholar. Wealth must come with enterprise. And unless that wealth, money, is used to produce something, it is of no use. Once again, let me appreciate the 187th inaugural lecturer for delivering a 5-star lecture. And to all our attendees, we sincerely appreciate your presence. Thank you.
Another big round of applause. Thank you very much. We are really so delighted for you to have traveled all the way from all the nook and crannies and even beyond the shores of River State to be a part of this wonderful presentation today. And for those of you online all over the world, we say thank you for being part of this wonderful program today. 187th inaugural lecture by Professor Chineze Uche, University of Port Harcourt. Thank you. We have come to the end of this inaugural lecture. And as our custom and tradition demands, we have packaged a very special, sumptuous cocktail, Uniport standard for our inaugural lecturer, his immediate family, and of course, the professors and directors that are here at the usual place after now. Thank you very much. And also immediately after the recession, after we must have marched out, we shall go to the entrance of this complex and take a group photograph. So please may I humbly request that we rise on our feet as we take the university anthem, that to be followed by the national anthem. It's going to be displayed on the screen. Thank you. Please may we rise. Second stanza of our national anthem. Sing along. Thank you very much. Let's remain standing as a mark of honor. The Vice Chancellor will now lead the recession. Maybe we are going to move right now to the entrance to the complex. They will use this way and the family. Others will use the other door. The inaugural lecturers are at our back. Please go forward.
Yes, yes, yes. Go back church. I'm going to put this thing on. Just 15. Why didn't they give it up?